So here's that little sheet of paper that I talked about, the 2 lengths of the pool. And it's more than a sheet of paper, to be honest. It's a thought process. The A4 sheet of paper just captures that thought process. There's a couple of questions that I think are really valuable to answer. First one, what is your 2 lengths of the pool? What is your job in the simplest possible terms? You know, Chris, as a swimmer, he had a pretty simple job. He had to swim 100 metres in a 50-metre pool as quickly as he possibly could. So his job was to swim 2 lengths of the pool as fast as he could, and that was it. When we understand our job in the simplest possible terms, we can start to identify the really important things that contribute. In fact, I asked him for the top 5. Give me the top 5, the most significant 5, the 5 that have the biggest impact on your performance. What are those 5 keys? Equally, you can ask yourself, what are those 5 things that have the greatest impact? So, using this sheet of paper along the top, write your 2 lengths of the pool in here, your job in the simplest possible terms. Down here, what are the 5 key things that you need to do to deliver that 2 lengths of the pool, the most important 5. And then once you've done that, start working across. Give yourselves a score on a 0 to 10 scale. How good are you at this key right now? How well do you deliver this? On a 0 to 10 scale, where 0 means there's absolutely nothing good about it, and 10 means it's perfect, it's flawless, and you can't improve it. Once you've done that, start to have a think. How good are you on your very best day? You know, most people, if they scored this, for example, a 6, they might say, at my best, or at our best, on our best day, we get as good as an 8. However, when we're not on our best day, the bottom end could fall as low as a 3. So how good are you? Equally, let's have a think about how much focus you give this key right now. You know, if this is one of the most important 5 things in your performance, how much focus do you give it? If you broke your time, focus, resources, energy down, even your thinking time down, how much of your total time do you devote to this key? You might say, for example, that you give this 25% of your focus. You might say, ideally, it needs more than that. Equally, you might say, actually, ideally, we should only be giving this 10%. So, that's the first bit. See if you can work your way through all 5 keys. Give them a score, identify how good you are at your top end, how low that falls on the bottom end, how much focus you do give this, and how much it should have. Then let's work across. This column asks, when you're at your best, so let's say, for example, you're a 6 out of 10, but at your best you're an 8. What do you do differently at an 8 out of 10 than you don't always do as a 6? Equally, at your bottom end, if you're a 3, what are you doing differently, or what are you not doing, or what are you rushing, or you know, what's different about your performance when you're a 3 out of 10 than normal? And write those into here. That gives some really good information to help answer this next question. What's your strategy to improve? In fact, what do you have to do to improve this by just 1? So if this is a 6 out of 10, how do you get it to become a 7 or better? Not 10. I'm not asking about 10. I'm not interested in 10. Honestly, I don't really care about perfection, but I definitely care about progress. So what do you have to do to make this a 7 or better? Then, who do you have to work with? Who are your partners in this? Who's going to help you get to a 7 or better? And how do you have to work with them? And finally, how do you know if you're a 7 or better? What tells you? What information is there? Instead of thinking you're a 7 or better, what data is there? What evidence is there? And this can be something that you observe or maybe even measure. So, once you've got all of those, you've got a really good strategy, and you can engage your team on this so that your team have got a common strategy to work on. Equally, you can come back, you can use it as a basis of a review. You can come back in 2, 3, 4 weeks, however many, and ask, are these still the most important things? What's the priority? What are we really working on? What's the difference between our top end and our bottom end? What do we do to get better? Who do we have to work with? How will we know if we've changed? And off we go. So, it's only an A4 sheet of paper, but like I say, it captures a thought process, it captures a way of working, and actually, used properly, it literally helps people become world class. So, I'll just invite you, if you want to, use it by all means. Squeeze as much value as you possibly can out of it. And I genuinely hope this helps you to improve your performance. Thank you.